Coral has worked with us since last September. She's originally from Puerto Rico and is Spanish speaking, so she has the special privilege of being our only bilingual speech therapist, so she gets to see a lot of our Spanish speaking patients. Coral was nominated for Employee of the Month for compassion that she showed to a Spanish speaking patient who was unable to communicate. She really went above and beyond trying to find a method for him to communicate while he was in the hospital with us.
So I had a patient who had a stroke and ended up having to be in the hospital for a few months. Because of his stroke, he had a communication deficit where he couldn't really talk verbally. He couldn't make out words, but he was there. He could understand everything that we told him. Eventually, he started communicating with his hands, like head nodding and stuff like that. So I made him a communication board. He was also Spanish speaking only. So I made him a communication board that had everything in Spanish for him to be able to communicate with the staff, but then also in English when you flipped it over so that the staff that didn't speak Spanish could communicate and know what he was trying to say. You know, I would ask him every day how he was feeling each day, and he would always tell me, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling lonely, I miss my family, I want to go home, which was really heartbreaking because he was in the hospital for a few months and he never had anyone come visit him at the hospital. I kind of found out that he actually had a wife and a son and a bunch of family, but they were all back in Mexico. So eventually I found his mom's phone number and we would call her every day from the hospital. It was really beautiful to watch because his family was really supportive. Eventually I asked his mom if they would be able to video chat with him, which I thought would maybe help him a little bit more, since at that point he still had not been able to talk at all verbally. And his mom obviously got really excited and was very agreeable to that, but they didn't really have the means to do that. The only way they could do it, she said, was via Messenger on Facebook. So I stayed late after work one day. I made him an email account and a Facebook account so that they could kind of see each other. It ended up being on Father's Day, which was really even more beautiful because his whole family was together, celebrating Father's Day, and he was able to finally see them for the first time in a long time. There at the end, he was able to blow kisses to his son, and it was on Father's Day, so it was really beautiful to watch. He didn't really have any support system there in the hospital, but I knew that maybe doing that a little bit more often would really help him and motivate him to really try to get better and get out of the hospital.
Coral has such a caring heart, and she really does care deeply about every patient that she sees. This is just one example of many where she really goes above and beyond to show care to these patients and to show compassion to them and to make sure that they are able to communicate even in their primary language.
So I'm really glad I was at least able to, provide that support for him. There at the end, one of the last times I saw him, I was telling him how proud I was of him to have made it this far in his progress and his rehab. His last words to me were, "Gracias a ti," which means thanks to you. It was awesome.